Now we're ready to move on to your special senses, and we're going to begin with vision. One of the structures of the eye is the conjunctiva. This is a thin, clear lining, and it covers the surface, the exposed surface of the eye on the sclera, and the inside of the eyelids. So the sclera is what's also known as the white of the eye. So if we outline the conjunctiva on this picture, it has the inside of the eyelids, so it's right here along the inside of the eyelid, and then the exposed part of your sclera. So the sclera goes all the way around the whole eyeball. If we outline this sclera here in pink, the sclera goes all the way back, and it's here, and it goes all the way back. The conjunctiva is only on the front part of your eye that shows on the front of your face. It doesn't go all the way back into your head. And then it's on the bottom also. So here, this front part of the sclera that you can see on your face, and then the inside of the eyelid. So there's a side view of it. Here's a front view. If we look at conjunctiva, it's going to be all on here, where you see the white of the eye. Here where, like the color part of the eye, the iris, it's not there. So it would cover all of this that I'm filling in green, would be where you have conjunctiva. And then it would also be on the insides of both the upper and lower eyelids. The conjunctiva contains blood vessels. And this is what you see when you look in the mirror. Those little blood vessels, those are in the conjunctiva. The sclera is actually avascular. There are no blood vessels in the sclera of the eye. So those blood vessels you see are not part of the white of your eye. They're sitting on top of it in the conjunctiva. And the conjunctiva functions to protect and lubricate the surface of your eye. And sometimes you can get conjunctivitis. This is when it becomes inflamed. This can happen from irritation or infection. And one of the most common that you've probably heard of is pink eye. So pink eye is a form of conjunctivitis. It's when there's an infection in the conjunctiva. One more significant thing here. This part that I'm outlining in blue is the cornea. The cornea has to remain perfectly clear because this is what light enters through. If we look at the bottom picture here, where the iris and the pupil are, all of this would be covered with cornea. So notice the conjunctiva does not go over the cornea. The reason there is no conjunctiva on the cornea is because the conjunctiva has blood. And you need the cornea to be clear. So if the conjunctiva were over the cornea, you wouldn't be able to see very well because there would be blood obstructing your view. Okay, then we can move on to this picture, and we're going to look at lacrimal. Now you should remember lacrimal from the study of cranial nerves. Right up here is your lacrimal gland. This is what makes tears. And this is under the control of cranial nerve 7, the facial nerve. It's the one that stimulates you to make tears. So notice this is on the upper outer edge of your eye. So it is superior, lateral to the eye. It secretes tears, so you can see right here, this is where the tears go through. So the tears enter right up here on the superior lateral part of your eye. They wash across your eye, so tears flow medially across your eye toward your nose. As they do, they clean your eye. They also lubricate it. And you blink all the time, and blinking helps distribute those tears, helps them do their job of washing your eye. Kind of think of hitting the windshield washer on your car. It squirts the fluid up and the wipers go to wipe that fluid around and clean your windshield. That's how your tears and the act of blinking keep your eyes clean. They also protect your eyes from infection because tears contain lysozyme and antibodies. The lysozyme and antibodies both prevent infection in your eyes. Once the tears get to the corner, there's this little dot here in each eyelid called a puncta. You can see this if you look closely in the mirror. There's that little black dot right there in the corner of your eye. That's where the tears drain into. They then go into the lacrimal duct to your nose. So tears end up going into your nose. This is why when you cry, your nose runs. That's just your tears filling up your nose. Another thing that can be explained of this, there's dust and dirt and all sorts of stuff in the air, and it gets on your eyes, and your tears wash all of that over to the corner. Then the tears go into the puncta, but all the dirt and grime that they washed over collects here in the corner of your eye. So that's why eye boogers form right there in the corner of your eye, because that's the direction tears flow. So there's the first part of some structures external to the eye. Next, we'll start looking at the eyeball itself and what's in it.